Oh, yeah, but we've got a picture of him. So you guys, now is the time. People are looking, the momentum right now towards the LDW, but I think we've got some pictures next, of Larry. It's hard because I'm not controlling. Ryan's trying to. So this is George, right?
Absolutely. Wow.
And George, why don't you share? Because we all have these people in our lives. Should I send it to them? Should I not? They may be upset at you. You may be upset at them. Why don't you share the George story?
This is George Nickel. George and I had known each other for years. I had him on my list. He was one of the 24. I got the mailing ready, and then what I did, I prejudged. I took his mailing piece, I threw it in the wastebasket because I said to myself, George is not going to be interested. No way. Besides, George is broke. He don't have the money. Because like me, George had been involved in a number of different programs. So I knew he was broke.
But your mind could have gone that same way, not just with George. You could have thought, oh, this guy makes too much money, right? Did your mind just go? I mean, so you had it going all around.
Exactly. So then all of a sudden I realized, okay, the real reason that I threw that in the wastebasket was I was still harboring resentment from 5 years earlier. He and I had been in a business, and I was angry at something George did to me. Right. And I was harboring that. And then I realized I had been doing my personal development, and then it just flashed in my mind, forgiveness. I've just got to forgive George and forget the past, and we just got to go on. And I picked it up, and I mailed it. Huh. Now, so George became a president's team member in the following December.
So the following December, so in 12 months, he became a president's team member. However, it didn't look pretty that first month. What actually happened with George? Getting the money you guys got to get this just to get the distributor kit. What happened?
Well, first of all, here's another important point. If I had not started and did my mailing right then and just did my grand opening there in December, I would have lost George because George told me, he said, Larry, I got 2 other mailings. Your sponsor, Gary, I'm on his list. I got that same audio. And also one of Gary's guys. But he said, Larry, I've chosen you. I want to come in under you because I know the quality of service and support that you supply to your downline. See, I was in George's downline once.
Isn't that wild?
So there's 2 things, two things right there I could have lost him. Now, it took George 3 weeks to come up with the money. He wanted to be a success builder because that's what I was promoting. That's how I came in.
Right.
And that was our program back then. And it took him 3 weeks. Finally, one day, he came into my office. He put out the money, and it was like a bunch of $1 bills and $5 moldy money. It looked like it had been in his basement for 10 years. I don't know where he got the money. It was coins. I counted it, and then it was short. It was short. It was, but I just said, George, let's go. We're going to go ahead. We'll go ahead.
You kind of made up the difference there a little bit.
Yeah, I did. I just said, no problem. And he said, no, I want my product. I said, I don't have the product, George. I said, that's all I got over there. That's all that's left of my Success Builder order, and we'll just go, and I'll pay at my cost. I'll buy a cashier's check, and we'll overnight it into Herbalife, and we'll get going. Let's just to stay. He said, no, I want my product. He said, order it on your credit card. You got the money. I said, George, I don't have one. My wife cut up my credit card,
right.
And I said, and mine's it's almost full. And the only one I got. He said, well, you got the money there. Let's go make a payment on your credit card, and then we'll order it. I said, okay, that's a good idea. So we get to the bank, and the teller says, okay, there you are. And I said, okay, now would you please call that into bookkeeping so it'll credit that so that we can use my credit card today. She says, no, the credit card system, it takes about 48 hours. I said, no, that's not acceptable. So I talked to the branch manager. He said, Larry, there's nothing we can do about it. I said, let me talk to the vice president or somebody. So they got the home office on the line. So the guy happened to know me. So he said, look, Larry, he said, it's a credit card system. There's nothing we can do. It's going to take 48 hours. But what we'll do today, since we know you, we'll increase your credit line by $1,000 temporarily. since you don't qualify, it's going to go back down in 48 hours after you make your transaction.
Right. So the bottom line is he got the order. Now, Ryan, if you can show the next picture, because I think we're at checks now.
Yeah.
I think. Now, this is a very important check because you guys have heard Larry on our Tuesday call when it gets towards the end of the month. He shares that this $401 check, Larry, this was your first check, but you weren't a supervisor at this check, were you?
That is correct. In January, because I didn't qualify in December, January being my first month, we did almost $50,000 in volume, but that's what I got paid for it because I wasn't a fully qualified supervisor.
You did how much in volume?
It was close to 50,000.
50,000, you guys. So did that the 24 people mailing, and then the whole thing just started to steamroll, right?
Right. See what? I had 4 first-level supervisors, right? Well, one of my supervisors, Karen, she had 6 deep because I knew how to build deep. That's one thing I understood, okay, how to build lines. And then George, I think he had 3 deep, and then Herb, another supervisor I had, he had like 4 deep. So I think I had 15 or 20 supervisors in the first 30 days. Well, but that's all I got.
And now he's showing your second check. Now that you said, aha, I got to get the supervisor, the second month check, now it's over $3,700, right?
Right.
Okay. Now this is the kicker. Showed, I think, the next one. This is 1 year, you guys. How much did you make, Larry?
In December, for my 12th month in the business, $32,000, $32,053. I don't think that includes the retail, does it?
No. No. That's the check. That's just the checks, Larry.
That's just the 2 checks. Now,
go on.
Now, here's the reason it jumped up. My organizational volume at the end of 12 months, my total organization was doing over $500,000 a month. So what that did, that increased my pay by $10,000 a month. Because my president's team check kicked in there, and that's what made that December check jump to 32.
So, and here now we're showing the letter that you put out after, I don't know how many months it is. Is it like 15 months now?
This is, in 15 months, I had fully qualified for my cufflinks. In other words, my royalties had hit 15,000 3 months in a row. And there's my, the 15th month.
Oh, okay. So you did this in 15 months. Earrings and cufflinks. This means his group, you guys got to get this. He's doing, just in his first 3 levels, $300,000. Your whole group, you're doing over $500,000. 15 months it took him. You guys, it took me 5 years to get there. Now, it's great I got there, but this is the difference between Larry starting with Center of Influence immediately, right?
Absolutely. No question about it.
And again, it took you 14 years to get it right with Center of Influence. So you guys, if you're listening now and you're going, but Larry, just thank you so much for taking the time. Ryan, anything you want to comment on?
Well, that key thing where, with George, he wasn't going to give him the information.
Yeah.
And then he did because Larry, like Steve and Debbie and we're all underneath him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got like 5 presidents team at least, no, 6 or 7 presidents team members because you said, okay, George, I'm gonna get that to George.
Oh, there's no question about it. It's at least $3 million. It was at least a $3 million decision to pick that out of the wastebasket and mail it.
And you never know because he was the guy that he brought you the moldy money.
Yes.
You never know where it's going to come from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that you chose to, let go of the past and say, hey, no matter what my feelings about this person is, I'm going to let them know. I'm going to let the presentation do the work to let them know what it is that you're doing to see if they're interested. And thank goodness you did because, who knows, I'd still be a carpenter, working outside in 0-degree weathers and having no money. Thank goodness you did that.
Well, thank goodness my sponsor created that original tape and mailed it to me, and so it's just amazing, and that it's the little things that we do in life that can make the greatest impact in your future on other people's future, and you don't know it at the time. There's little things. It might be just making one more phone call before you go to bed at night. It might be putting that one more flyer out.
So, Larry, thank you so much.
All right, and thank you, guys. It's been my honor.
Okay. Hey, want to open it up, Ryan, so everybody can say goodbye?
Bye, Larry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.